In order to create something, whether that is an album, an art piece, just a song, a video, magazine cover, even, you have to live first. You can't just recreate what's already there. You have to have an inspiration source. You can't just copy. Then you're not really making art, it's just a recreation. I want to talk about the album I have coming out that was supposed to be out May 20th. As you can tell, it is not May 20th. While I decorate my laptop with stickers, if you're open to it, if you're open to joining me. Before I talk about the album, though, I'm going to talk about my stickers because I have a lot of options. And I don't want to like bore people, but I have so many stickers. I have like these bee and puppy cat ones that are like shiny. I'm just gonna slap them all up here. I have random food stickers. Like I get a lot of stickers from people because I'm a very well loved individual. I got these ugly soda ones. They are scratch and sniff. I have shiny My Hero Academia stickers for some reason. That's not really up my alley. I have Valentine stickers that I've already somewhat used. Can't really use these because they're three-dimensional, but they're blue hearts. I want to put them somewhere though. Ramadan stickers. Got Ramadan. More Cinnamoroll, which I'll definitely use these. I love Cinnamoroll. Ramadan Cinnamoroll. More Cinnamoroll, but these ones are puffy. Cute, right? Can you even see that? I don't even know what I'm doing. Can you see my Cinnamoroll? I'm so out of breath because I'm so angry what this video is going to be about. I have bat mitzvah stickers. I have more stickers. More of these. Shana Tova, Happy New Year. I've got name tag stickers, which I want to cover the Lenovo logo with that. And I also got this like dollar store sticker book. Hope it's not AI because some of the art in here is, but I really want to use this sticker. This big cat. Like he's cute, right? I don't know. If not, I'll use like this bunny candy one because I tend to get like weird and I don't like when a lot of colors exist in one area. I like having a color palette and going with that. And in my missing box, my missing person box, I have more stickers. Some of these are Seinfeld, some of these are Cinnamoroll, just let them fall out. So I could use some of these. I won't be talking too much about the stickers, it's why I showed them first, but this is one of my favorite stickers, so I want to put that on there, so my color palette might just be pink and blue, like fucking always. But I'm gonna just get to it, I'm gonna start covering things up, and I'm gonna talk about my album. And the reason I'm doing the stickers is because it's a very emotional situation, because the whole thing is actually like really, really stressing me out. But the whole album is done. It was supposed to come out May 20th, and it is, as I'm recording this, May 26th. And my distributor is very much giving me a hard time. And the reason, which I don't blame them, but like it is kind of annoying. But the reasoning behind it is I have two songs that have a sample in them, and they don't want it in there. They want me to remove it completely. One is because they feel it's inappropriate, and the other reason is because they are scared they're going to get sued by somebody who is no longer with us, so I don't know how that's going to work. But everything was free use. Everything I used was free use. I'm not, like, going to sample, like, Britney Spears or something. But I do, like, I come from a place of understanding with it, but it also is frustrating, because at first they told me it was fine, it was okay, it's whatever. And then they were going to send it off. Oh my gosh, that's really shiny. Ooh. And then they were like, yeah, we can't. And of course they like sent me the reasons why, because they're not going to just leave me in the dark like that. So it's just a constant back and forth between me, my distributor, and whoever the hell I'm yelling at this point. I do tend to be a brat, especially when it comes to my music, which probably not the best trait to have, but it is something that I am aware of. However, I will just talk about what the album is, what inspired it, because, I mean, I'm probably titling this video How to Make an Album. Should I do something shiny? is kind of cute, right? I'll do just the puppy cat one that's shiny. I did start this album in late 2024. It was just 2 songs back then, because like I do put a lot into one song at a time. And other times I'm just playing around, just seeing what I can do, because I was very sick at that time, and now I'm obviously better, so I can like start doing shows and stuff like that again. Just going through stickers. I'm not really liking any of these. I don't think I'll use any of the Seinfeld ones. But my song process was slow. And I finished the album around, I want to say, early 2026 or something. I'm not really good with time, so that's probably not correct. What started the album is I moved, and that was like my first inspiration point of like, oh, this is change, because change can inspire an album. Anything can inspire an album. And I was just feeling very strange because I went from living to Baltimore to living in Georgia. So now I don't. The fans' faces and the people's faces I've seen and the attitudes I've seen are all very different now. Everything's changed. So that was like the first big change. Getting used to a different state, a different location, different smells, sounds, noises. I will say Georgia's a lot less violent than I'm used to. Not really seeing people get stabbed all the time anymore. Not really seeing people get shot. Not really having to duck down at bus stops, shit like that. Not seeing like rats everywhere. Holy shit, the rats. They're like the size of freaking cats, man. Going through my Cinnamoroll stickers. How we feel about her? How we feel about her? But I moved down to Georgia and I got pretty comfortable pretty fast. Because, you know, it wasn't violent, but like it was just weird to get used to the silence. That was really the biggest change for me. So a lot of my music had a different sound than Anteros, of course. I never want my albums to sound exactly the same. But about halfway through that album, I had to move again. I didn't really have to, but I wanted to like live on my own. I didn't want to like live with like, you know, family and feel like I'm taking up space. Like I wanted to be on my own 2 feet, because that's something I never really got to fully experience, because, you know, always got interrupted by something. But I wanted to experience that, so, you know, went and got myself an apartment. Yay, you know, awesome. And then things took a bit of a turn, because I'm like in the process of making this album. It's already a bit sad. And now I'm getting like the happiest news of my life. It's like, yeah, you've actually succeeded at something. This is awesome. You finally did something right. Which is something that's never really happened to me, because I'm usually doing something wrong, if I'm being honest. I'm a complete flop of a person. And so, of course, given the fact that, like, I'm always flopping, like, especially to my parents, it's just like, hey, mother and father, because, like, in high school I was a horrible, awful, evil child. Always getting phone calls home, always getting in trouble. So going from that, then calling my parents one day and being like, hey, I've done it. I've done something correct. However, that is not how the phone call went, because I went to call my father, and I noticed I had a missed call from him, and he called me to tell me that my uncle had passed away. And if I'm honest, I was actually the most excited to tell my uncle that I got the apartment, because he always believed in me. He never didn't. Which, yeah, freaky turn for the video, considering I'm like, you know, trying to smile through everything. But that took a hit, because obviously, why wouldn't it? That's like really sad. Nobody wants to hear, you know, bad news like that. However, my family's been surrounded by death the whole time I've been alive, really. I mean, my father works in a cemetery. Most of the things I know about my family is murder and, you know, horrible stuff like that. So death was always something that, like, I always felt was, I knew it was natural, but it always felt like it could happen. I didn't go to the funeral, personally. My parents were like, hey, you're moving. You can't change your moving date, and we can't really change his funeral date. Like, it is what it is. Um, so, like, I just couldn't do it because, especially going from Georgia back to Baltimore, would be one, really expensive. Also, considering that I just, you know, rented an apartment, that's a lot of money. Um, but it would have been hard to move and then immediately go to a funeral. I'd probably get like 20 minutes of sleep, and it wouldn't work. Not to mention, I already had to go back to Baltimore because I had to go grab my roommate and her cat. So that would have been a lot of money and a lot of time to stay there, and it just, with all of the dates and all of the money and all of the like time and stuff like that, it wouldn't have worked, and it makes me sad because it does feel like I failed him. But hearing how many people came to his funeral, even though like he always said that like nobody liked him, nobody cared about him, nobody loved him, um, his funeral turnout was in the hundreds. So I just, I wish he could have seen it, which is why my album is called I Wish You Could See This, because that was the next point of inspiration for the album, because everything really changed from that point. Because um, he was one of the people I could go to because he had the same mental illness as me. Um, so he would just get it. But he would be like the one person I could call and be like, "Hey, I'm like hallucinating. Everything's scary. I'm like terrified. Like, what do I do?" And I could just sit on the phone with him for hours and it would be all right and he'd be fine with it. Just so I could take a breather. What do we think so far? It is a beat up laptop because it's from like 2013 and it was a gift. But what do we think? I got this little cookie in the corner for now. I'll just glaze over this because, again, it's one of those things that's just like really sad. But like, I have like this whole really sad album about like life and death because, that's really all my life has ever consisted of. Because I also have another uncle, same side, um, who was murdered, and I often do wonder if me and him would have gotten along. I know, as selfish as that is. So, like, these are the things I've been thinking about now that I'm on my own, which is insane. Because, like, in what world does somebody move out and is like, let's start thinking about the Hoovers? Which, like, I know it is common, but it's just insane to be like, okay, I got my first apartment. Um, my uncles are dead. Would they think I'm cool? Um, which, kind of sad to say out loud. Um, I know I'm kind of like oversharing probably. Actually, no, I'm not. Um, People need connection. People are human. I'm gonna say crazy stuff. It's part of being a human. I'm not gonna fall into the sad realities of that. These are insanely shiny. I don't want these. Now I got the hiccups. I'm being possessed. I do want this kitty cat with the strawberry, I think. Or do I want the bunny with the ice cream? I want bunny ice cream? But like that's kind of like one of the main reasons that my music is like so sad is because like my life is strange, um, horrible even. I wouldn't say horrible. I guess I have like good things going on, but like a lot of my life is just you would be surprised what a child could go through, and still live. So now I got like these three inspirations of just life, death, wondering, humanity really, just fully being human, which I do like the album for that. Um, but I also believe that this might be my last sad album because I've I've been wanting to make something a bit, um, for lack of better terms, I want to make something funnier and campier. Um, I just think it would be nice to put something out into the world that isn't just like, hey, I'm sad. But like the main point is just, it's okay to make sad art, it's okay to make bad art. It's just it has to come from a source of something, or else you're just like copying stuff. And in a way, it's just I kind of want to be like, yeah, this is like my sadness, this is my pain. Because again, like I said, people are like, constantly being like, you're cringe, you're too sad. And I want to show like I'm multifaceted, but I also want to be like, it's okay to be sad. Like my life isn't sunshine and rainbows. Like it really isn't. Um, so I wanted to like have something that like shows a little more part of me and not just my Chernobyl character, because I know a lot of people know that she's sad because of what Chernobyl is. I don't want to say based on, but like I guess I kind of have to, because with her story, if you've ever been to any of my shows or like watched any of my like anything really, you would know that Chernobyl is a dead girl, and she's just out for vengeance in a way. But Chernobyl's like this dead girl, and she does crazy things, and I like doing that. It's fun and drag, but like if I want to show more of myself, um, and people actually understand that it's me and not just a character, I thought maybe do an album on it, at least for now. And I'm sorry if this seems like disjointed and everything. It's just I didn't want to come on here and be like, yeah, I can't make my album and I'm sad about it and I have to cry because like it's about like sad things. Because I didn't want to like cry on camera. Like that's not something I want to do right now. I'm already dealing with enough. But like the point is, arguing with a label again. Y'all remember when I did that last time? And I actually almost got sued. That was kind of scary. But I really just want to make an album that's, more authentic and less surface level, I guess. Because I feel like my music could go deeper. I feel like anyone's music could go deeper. But, personally for me, I want to dig deeper. Because that's who I am as a person. And a lot of, like, the artist thing of, like, being a musician, any type of artist, like, if you're, like, using the internet to be an artist, a lot of it is just you're screaming at nothing. And, like, no one's listening. You're just, like, making a long video like I am right now, rambling, not being put together, and just talking, and no one's gonna watch it because, like, no one's heard of you. You haven't really given a reason for people to, like, click on your stuff. Look at that guy. I'm not gonna be, like, disappointed if nobody watches this either, or if people just, like, turn it on and then turn it off, like, halfway through. Because, like, that's part of the process. It's not much to be angry about, because why be mad? Why are we mad? Why is everybody mad all the time? I also just don't want to make this video too long, because really all I wanted to say is I want my album out. My album is important to me, but I'm not able to just release it without permission. I will get in trouble for that. And that's not a trouble that I want to deal with. I don't want to do another court case. I don't want to like look jail in the eyes and play with that. Placing the bunny ice cream sticker. And I wanted to say what it was about. So people would know not to listen or to listen. Because the last time I released a song, people kind of tweaked and they were like freaked out because they're like, "What is this? I'm scared." And it's like, well, don't listen to my music, I guess. Not that I like really care. It's just I hate getting feedback that's like, "This is scary." It's like, yeah, I make scary music. I'm very open about that. I don't shy away from like any topic. I've probably written a song about like any like thing that you could think of at this point. It's just a matter of whether or not it's been released. Because again, I don't like just releasing stuff like cranking things out. Because that I don't do the whole cash grab thing. Like that's cheap. But my next album will probably be more fun. I want to do something more fun, not as sad as I've been doing. I like playing with sounds. I want to see where this goes because I have to make bad art in order to get where I'm trying to go, wherever that is at this point. um, I could do the milk. And if I get there, I get there. I hope I get there. I'm gonna keep working my ass off until I get there. I'm gonna keep making music, making videos, um, you know, gathering an audience, as they say on um, those TV shows that like housewife shows. They're like, you can't do anything unless you have the audience for it, and ain't nobody gonna listen to you unless you got this. I feel like everybody says that at this point. But I also just had like a tweet explode, and that was very insane because now I have like 101 messages that are like, you have to die, you need to die, you need to kill yourself. Um, so I guess that's a look into my future if I keep chasing it. I think I want to put one more sticker over there, and I think I'll be done. Because again, I don't want this covered, because I'm starting to like it how it is. Let's do Bats Maru. You guys like Bats Maru? You guys know who Bats Maru is? I like Bats Maru. Bats Maru. Jump scare Bats Maru. He's cute. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? But I got this little corner. Again, very old, very dented. This is borrowed from my grandmother from 2013. And I got this little corner. I don't want to have too much in the middle, so there's nothing really there. I got this little corner and here. But as a whole, it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of cute. I'm gonna put my name here. I don't know if I want to put Chernobyl or Cougar yet. Depends on what you guys call me all the time. But yeah, little stickers. I genuinely think the funniest part is going to be editing this because I know I probably didn't say everything I wanted to. Because I was trying to focus on the stickers and focus on not crying. But yeah, I hope my album does come out. I'll probably make a tweet about it and like screenshot an email or whatever and being like, hey, this is where we're at right now. Still can't release it because everybody wants to piss me off all the time. I could try being less stubborn and get rid of the sample, but I don't want to. And it's also another song being like, hey, that's offensive, which it isn't. And if that type of thing does offend you, that's a little weird to find offensive. It's just I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, which is fine. Because then I'll talk about it on Twitter, and then we're all going down, and then I will have a logical reason to be called, a career killer, which is great. Love that title. But yeah, thank you for watching. I love you all. I will see you, hopefully when the album comes out, if they, again, let me. But bye!